Mona Lisa. What's happening, y'all? We're more than gold, and my eyes have the pleasure to behold. You're my latest. What's happening, fam? If you can see the title, I know I just jumped on here. It's out of the blue, but it's probably too late to escape equality. I hope I wrote equality down on this thing. But what I'm saying is, I was looking at the thing earlier this week, right? About the young girl who got jumped, right? And people were tripping about the girl getting jumped and her shoes taken, listening to BGS. But actually, something happened with another lady on Instagram. What's up, David? You know, a thing happened with a woman on Instagram. She was like, "Don't ever say we don't protect y'all." This little girl got, mollywopped basically for a few seconds for her sneakers, right? It wasn't. I don't think it's for her sneakers. I think he just took her sneakers because they made an example out of her. That's what I think. But and I thought about it, and I did a video on something. I was doing a live a few days ago on something else, and Refi was in the comment section talking about, I'm black woman, it's the, that I'm kind of anti-black woman and whatnot. Fitness mom, how you doing? Cooley, what's happening? Major, what's happening? He said, looking at the title, and I started thinking about it. Like, I don't think, and BGS talked about it where the Zillennials are not going to be they're not putting up with the shenanigans. And I know sisters want equality, but I don't think, and sisters, I'm talking about women in general too, though. I don't think they forget that there's going to be a backlash, not for the positive stuff. Like when America has, I don't like Boosie Collins. Wait, hold up, player. Who said I don't like Boosie Collins? But wait. Come on now, baby. I like Boosie. But, the thing about it is, all the things that women have benefited from before the era of wanting equality, and the things that women have benefited from in the process of gaining equality, I think it's too late to turn back, because as BGS pointed out, that kids, multiple generations of kids have been raised on this. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear that? That's Teddy Pendergrass playing right there, Cooley. You don't hear that, Devin? You don't hear that? Listen. Keep on lifting me up. You don't know about Teddy. That's why I got the beard on for the Teddy Pendergrass jams today. Anyway, but when I started thinking about it, like the ladies I know, dating is trash, men are trash, society is trash, love is trash, and I'm like, you're looking for a man to do what men used to do. And we've had this conversation over and over again where you want to do something new. So if you gonna get to do something new, these guys get to do something new. So now these guys are going Dutch. I don't know, a real man shouldn't go Dutch. What's happening, James? So what winds up happening is these guys should go Dutch. You wanted equality. You got your own money. You could do for yourself. Because it was a clip. I was on Instagram before I went to the gym or while I was at the gym, maybe last night. And it was a podcast, 3 dudes and a woman. And the woman was like, well, I need a man who's going to be able to take care of me. And one of the guys said, he says, well, here's the thing. You take care of yourself and I take care of myself. So we both in the same boat. So why do I have to be the guy who can take care of you when we both doing the same thing? We both taking care of ourselves. And she's like, well, that's wrong. And the guy's like, no, y'all got dating messed up. And I'm starting to think of, Tony, what's happening, fam? James, I hope I said what's up. I did. Okay. So now when these men are like, we're going half, I'm going Dutch, we doing Netflix and chill, Disney and news, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, these guys are so bad. No, not really. They've been raised that way. Oh my, what's happening? They've been raised they don't have to take care of you, because I know a good amount of attractive women who are quote unquote educated, who live by themselves, and they can do whatever they want. And I was actually at the gym today. I was talking to some ladies, and one of the ladies has gotten a divorce or whatever. But I was like, you need to go back to your husband. That's what I told her. I said, listen, man, if you think you're just gonna be out here single and it's just gonna work out in the end, what you're gonna get out there is probably not gonna be better than your husband. You need to go back to him. You know, she's an attractive lady and all that, but I don't, you know, she's a mother of she went from being a wife, you know, to a single mother of 3 from the marriage. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, these guys ain't finna. And she's like, I want to build generational wealth. And I'm like, yo, shorty, it's easier to build generational wealth than a family. Thanks, Nameless. What's happening, fam? You know? So, well, what's popping? So now it's like, you don't get the benefits anymore. You're not getting the benefits because you're not thinking about it, you know? And I'm like, yo, if y'all think it's bad because these guys aren't doing what you raised them not to do. I'm not gonna say the women raised them. The women who are complaining about this, the guys in their age group or in their dating pool have been raised by their mothers, grandmothers, aunts that women are strong and powerful. Because I remember when I was when I was a child, that's when I first started seeing the commercials and anything you can do, I can do better. And I remember being a kid, and it really didn't kick in like that when I was a child. But I remember girls are smarter than boys. Girls mature faster than boys. Girls could do a lot of things you guys can't. You're just not. We're better than y'all. I remember girls saying that, but we really didn't. We were like, yeah, okay, all right. I'm on the honor roll. You not, but you smarter than me. Okay. You keep getting in trouble doing stupid stuff. I don't get in trouble doing stupid stuff, but you're more mature than me. Okay. That's what we're doing? Okay, whatever. So, but as I got older, it got worse and worse and worse and worse. And now you're seeing women who they don't get the benefits that they used to get. And now they're mad. I'm like, well, sure, you know, you probably can't escape from this equality. Goshen, what's happening, fam? You remember that too, huh? Payback, what's happening? Yeah. Oh, okay, brothers have never. Hold up. These mothers never. Hold up. Right. Okay. These mothers never centered education around the boys and are surprised boys haven't built. Yeah, I get that too, but you know, this is because of, you know, refi, to be perfectly honest. But the other thing is the protection part, right? And I know the ladies, we want to be protected. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not saying you shouldn't be protected. And the woman who was upset, you know, about these boys don't protect. These boys are not protecting these women. These women are unprotected. You might not be able to escape equality because the other thing about this protection piece is, what's up, Mike? Is these boys and men have been needing protection for these women for years because of all of this quote unquote equality and empowerment. Because these women for years have been out of pocket. These girls have been putting their hands on boys their same age since I was a kid. Follow, what's happening, fam? You know, they've been fighting us and kicking us and punching us and pinching us and pushing us for years, from being a child to an adult. We were always not supposed to. Don't do this to a girl. We you know, they've been backbiting and giving us bad reputations and images since I was a child. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is protecting these boys from these girls for all these years. They've been, you know, saying we did things to them and get us in trouble and get us beat up and get us shot at for years. Nobody concerned about that. You didn't feel like, you know, nobody felt like the boys needed protection because of these things. Even those setups were blamed predominantly on other men, you know, boys and men. You know what I'm saying? So that became a problem. And somebody, you know, I think it was BGS, he said he dug into the story about the little girl getting beat up. And he was like, what happened? It seems like the little girl got beat up because she beat up another girl, and the dudes just said, "Screw it, we're gonna rat pack you for that." And this is the thing, like, if that winds up actually being the case, that these boys beat up that girl because that girl beat up another girl, that's technically protection. See, and this is why I say equality. You might be too late to escape equality, because I've seen in the last maybe 2-3 years, more women, more videos of girls to grown women. Guys just said they had enough, putting their hands on them. They had enough because too many women have gotten equality to the extent that they could just be belligerent, mean-spirited, and aggressive and violent towards people, and nothing is not supposed to happen. And now people are just fed up with it. And it might be too late to escape that. For the vast majority, it might be too late to escape that, because people are tired of it. Like, people are tired of it, and you might find a bit of indifference just in case. What's happening? But you're right. Now it's exactly. Now we need to rally around females, and people are like, nah, not really, because the underlying thing is, and this might sound mean or cold or mean spirited or cold to say, but I'll view it as this way. I think the vast majority of society and men in society are looking at protection like, y'all deserve what y'all get. Forget chivalry. Chivalry is dead. You deserve whatever you get. You jumped off that porch, you get whatever you get. You equal, you strong, you independent, you got it, you can do whatever. You are, you're a ninja, dog on it, right? CEO, what's happening? We never, hey, we ain't go, hey, don't even put that on there. Take that down, because somebody gonna be trying to come at you sideways for that CEO. You're like, what you talking about? Because people, he didn't want me too. Reason I'm saying that for you, fam, is because when I went to see the movie yesterday, The Banker, one of the reasons they pulled the movie is because the sister of one of the producers. No, I'm saying that for your protection, not for me. Oh man, Nefertiti, what's happening? Because one of the sisters pulled a Me Too. He touched me when I was a little girl in the 70s. It's 2020. It's 2020. Not this, I felt unprotected. That's technically 70s to 20s, 50 years. Nobody trying to hear what you're saying now. Because it's 50, because it could be looked at as 50 years ago or 40 years ago, 40 plus years ago. And, now people need protection. Like these guys, guys feel like they need to protect themselves from Me Too. These guys feel like they need to protect themselves from divorce. They feel like they need to protect themselves from child support. They feel like they need to protect themselves from getting the police called on them. They feel like they need to protect themselves from other people getting called to beat them up and shoot at them and this, that, and the third. So these guys have been feeling like they need protection for years. And who protects us? We protect ourselves. So I think some of the sisters don't realize, hey man, you probably went too far. Now you probably can't escape. This this equality you asked for, because be careful what you wish for, you because you just might get it. And a lot of people are upset that they're getting it. Now, the other thing is the competing aspect. And I think, as we've seen recently, you got an argument. Got you. So I got you. So what winds up happening is you're seeing now with the sexual transgender, whatever one it is, with them competing as girls, right? And you've been seeing that for a few years. And this is part of equality, right? You feel people could feel like they're a woman and compete as a woman and just beat the brakes off of women because you want to be equal, to the point that women are like, well, no, that's wrong. Yeah, it is wrong, but this is what you asked for. You wanted equality. You wanted, when you thought you could be just as good as a man, you never thought about it that a man will eventually say, I identify as a woman, so I'm just as good as a woman. You never thought it ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun. And I go out, and I think about that competing in business. I think a lot of sisters has been kicking ass in business. I would definitely salute, because I see a lot of sisters competing in business and doing things that we didn't. I'm like, damn, where did y'all get this from? Shout out to Erica Williams. But this is, but at the same time, even with the competition, what I think what's going to wind up happening is it might be too late to escape equality, because men are not going to, I think in the near future, men are not going to start helping women to be competitive. It's going to actually be a competition, no chivalry whatsoever. You want to get it all on your own. You get it out the mud like the dudes do. Start from ground level. Nobody wants to hear your sob stories. It's not emotions. It's going to be straight business. Either you're going to handle the business or not. There won't be no, feminine, how can I say, a curve for because a woman's feminine. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Selective equality based. Exactly. Which becomes a whole nother problem, because now, I remember the girl that joined the college football team. She's brave. Okay. She went D1 AA or D1 or D2 and get knocked out. Then it won't be so. Then y'all gonna say the boys or the young men are wrong because she wanted to play with grown men. I remember is that Brittany Griner talking to Boogie Cousins. I could beat Boogie, like when it was in the Olympics. I think it was Olympics or world championship, something like that. And Boogie was like, "Huh, man, you better tell her to chill out, because this idea that you're going to compete with men, there ain't going to be no. He's not going to be halfway with it. He not going to be halfway with the ish. Rabbit got that Draco. Hey, what's happening? Coolin', what's happening? Yeah, she took a scholarship from a boy that needed one. But that's part of the thing. Like, we're going to play this game. These guys are going to say, okay, it's going to wind up being like Love and Basketball, when she felt like, I'm going to play you for your heart. And when he looked at her, he took that thing off. He gave her that cold look. He dunked all on her. It's over. It's over, chick. And she, they ain't going to get back together at the end of this movie. It's just going to be a dunk. Get out. Get off my yard, punk. You know what I'm saying? She's going to cry when she gets to the car. It's going to be that. Like, touch on the blind side of yeah, this is this is one of those things where it's gonna be bad. How you doing, Al? So you want to compete. When guys say you want to compete, like Hillary Clinton competed, you know what I'm saying? To be president. These women are competing in law and finance and all other things. Condoleezza Rice, that's a woman who competed. Let's just be honest with it. But to think that the vast majority of women wanted to compete like that, I think it was a bit of a reach. So now, guys are starting to, they've acquiesced to the idea that, okay, man, this woman, she's just as, for one, yeah, we talk not to him, and then in the sport, we supposed to let him without. This is the problem. This is the problem. You feel me? So now it's like, okay, you want to compete. Same thing in classrooms, they're smart boys, they're smart girls, but there's not. I think in classrooms and college and university, there's going to be less and less of women being able to manipulate their way into a better grade. It's gonna be less and less of that. No crying, no makeup test. Because I know we talk about the dumb athlete, right? The dumb athlete trope where the coach gotta ask somebody to bump their grade up. There are a lot of women in general. Women can have that same underlying trope that they're not as smart as they claim to be because of always crying and manipulating to get a better grade. I think that's gonna stop. I think people are gonna, treat you like what was that movie back? Higher Learning, Mr. Williams. You're gonna get what you get. You get a D, you get a D. What's happening, Rob? You get a C, you get a C. Ain't no cry, ain't no makeup, ain't no nothing. Mr. E, what's happening? So now I don't know if they can roll it back, because now to roll it to escape from equality, you have to start training the generations from now and up, in reverse. You got to start empowering the boys and telling the girls that the boys you can't do everything boys do. You're not going to be men. You're not going to be men. You're not going to be a grown man. You shouldn't try to compete with a grown man. You shouldn't try to get at men in a manly way, because you're going to lose that battle. You're not going to be a better man than a man. You know what I'm saying? And I think that gets in the way. The other thing why I touched on that part is because, it's probably too late to escape equality because of parenting. Like, as I have been alluding to and talking about this whole time, and BGS said it, like, parents have raised generations saying that women are equal. Women can do just as much as guys could do. Women can do this, that, and the third. Women, and at the same time saying, and at the same time they're equal, but you still got to look out for them. After a while, those conflicting narratives, you're like, man, whatever. We equal, fine. We equal in every way. We equal. Forget it. And the reason why I bring up parenting is not just because of that, but it's also because when it comes to society, mother knows best. And we see over and over again in society now is the remnants of bad mothering. And though people want to quote unquote say, even in our community with the single mother rate being at 70+%, you want to blame fathers not being there or living in the house with the mother and the child as the reason why everything is so bad. But the reality is, if mother knows best and all of these single mothers are not doing are for the majority failing their children, then mama don't know best. So mother's parenting ain't as good as we thought it was when we wanted all of this equality. Because it was thought that if women run the world, it would be a better world. And now, we're looking at women run their households, and their households running to the ground. Their children are running to the ground, and society ultimately is on a downward spiral. You know what I'm saying? You can't get around that. You just can't get around it whatsoever. Yeah, it's entirely contradictory. Yeah, I feel you on that. It's one of those things where it's too late. Now you're looking at the statistics when they come out that single fathers statistically are better than single mothers. I know the numbers are skewed because they're way more single mothers than they are single fathers. But those numbers of being single fathers are actually growing because even the court system is starting to pull away from the narrative that moms are the better parents, because your criminal courts don't say that. It's still the court system. The family court system is not that far from the criminal court system. So these judges are seeing the same people in a 10, 15 year span. They're seeing the same people. The names resonate. They probably can't figure out where, but they're figuring all this out. So now we're dealing with a situation where the parenting, Like you can't go back and say because of equality made you better parents. It just ain't gonna work. It just ain't gonna work. He said respect. He said appreciate that. So, through RBG. Oh wait. I know I just hit that. I know. Okay. You know, and that's the other thing. You when they blur, if you want to quote unquote blur gender roles. See, here's the funny part about that. One of the things that cracked me up about gender roles and the blurred lines is I think one of the underlying things is if you blur the gender roles, you can't say who's failing at their gender role. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what people are gonna back in and back out. You know, since we don't have really gender roles, I was failing at doing the other job. I'm not good at that. My job is lacking because I'm 50% me and I'm a 50% male gender role and 50% female gender role. And guess what? I wasn't maximizing my gender, and I was half good. I was half good at my gender and half good at their gender. It's just not my fault because I'm trying both. No, it's a hustle. It's a hustle. What's up, Kevin? You know, what's happening? Azri, what's happening? He said, "What took the court so long?" You know, the courts have been disappointed. I think the courts wound up getting disappointed over years when they started seeing that all of these stories, you know, started sounding very similar, and they started catching mothers in all of these lies. And you know, I think the worst thing that single mothers could have done, in my opinion, when it comes to courts, family courts, I think the worst thing they ever did was up and move cities and states. Because now what you're seeing is, you know, what wound up happening was, you know, what you're seeing is new cities, new judges, new counties. Yeah, it's a finesse that like new cities, new states. I mean, new cities, new counties, or parishes in certain states, and in different states have come to find out on the back end that they were enabling a bad parent. And now all of this moving is an issue. See, a lot of times we talk about the guys being deadbeats, but a lot of times there's a lot of mothers who move and they're really deadbeat mothers with custody. But their move has been sanctioned. You know, like courts, you know, the courts might eventually make the parents stay in the same city, period. You don't get to move. If y'all got a kid together, you don't get to move no more. You don't get I found a job in Alaska. Nope. Your ass gonna stay wherever you at. The only way you get to move is both of y'all move. You know what I'm saying? If both of y'all don't move, that's it. And that's why I say, you know, it's probably too late to escape equality, because the equality was under the assumption that women were better people, better human beings, more angelic than men, which brings me to the next point is the image of women has took a hit for a while. Let's just say that for a while. And I don't even think women really can see it, because, you know, just like when women say that men are so many oppressive things and men can't see what they talking about, and then some guys say that when I had a daughter, I saw it, that type of thing. I don't think women see it for what it is right now. And the guys are telling the women, yo, this is not going to end well for y'all. And they're like, what are you talking about? We're equal. Like, this equality ain't going to work out because of the image. Like, everybody, we on YouTube, right? And I kept seeing that BJ's commercials, BJ's Brew House, when the white guy sitting at the table with the white chick. Hold on for a second. This is my mother. Give me 1 second, y'all. Sorry about that. What winds up happening is when the guy was like, we're gonna go halvesies. So, you know, they order two different plates. they was gonna split half of each plate, and she's just sitting there eating the whole thing, and she just that is a bad image for women. But a lot of guys who've been on dates with women can say it. I've been on dates with women who've done that. And just sitting and they thought it was funny. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. And this imagery of women being quote unquote empowered and equals, meaning what? You know, we're in competition over food in a figurative speech. You know, stationary for 18 years. Absolutely. You know, stationary for 18 years. And all these shows and movies, because women talking about media promotion, media influence, social media influence. And just like when the lady Sky was talking bad to her son on Black Ink, that went viral. Her response was so trifling that, you know, that made it worse. But there were a few women that did reaction videos that were in like that, not just genre, but in that field, like it, I guess on other shows, they didn't even, well, we just gonna pray for them. I'm not gonna say nothing. So this not complacency, but a lot of bad women have actual accessories to being bad. What's up, Curly? You know what I'm saying? Have accessories to being bad, because what winds up happening is the women don't speak up because women are scared that women are gonna get at them if they say this is not a good look for us. So, you know, this morality part, I think, has gone out the window. And because the morality part went out the window and chivalry is going out the window, you know, you might not be able to come back from equality because I think the idea was the female element held the best of humanity and the male element held the worst. And what you're seeing is the reverse, that, you know, the female element, how can I say this? I think the male element will hold the worst in society when it's organized. And as individuals, we hold the best, right? And I think what winds up happening is they thought that the female element as a collective holds the best elements of society, but as individuals hold the worst elements. But the problem is, if you're not a good individual, if people don't, if you're not portraying yourself as a good individual, you won't be a good unit, because you're going to have a unit of bad individuals. And the way that the image is getting put out there of women is not good. It's not good. Even when you're doing your best to put forth the good image, there's an underlying bad image involved. And the crazy part is, this is an image that other women put out of other women. We've gone past the idea that men are putting y'all out there crazy. Actually, women are putting y'all out there and saying, this is empowering, this is brave, this is this, you know, this is what we are supposed to be. This is how we are. We're fierce, we're warriors. And it's like, all right. Like I was in Walmart before I came home, right? And I saw that I was in the movie section because I was gonna buy something. I was bored. And I ain't, by the way, man, they done bought all of the soap and toilet paper. They really scared of this coronavirus. They tripping. I see a bunch of people who look dusty as hell buying a bunch of toilet paper, soap, and hand sanitizer. And I'm looking at, your clothes dirty. Your clothes dirty. You wash them clothes before you worry about all this sanitizer. But that's a whole nother story, right? You know, and what you talking about, the family court thing. And a lot of that stuff was based off of the Duluth model. If I'm not mistaken, the lady who made the Duluth model said she lied about the model. So that's a whole nother thing that goes in, not just with the imagery and the parenting and the systems, because the model that everything was based on a lie too, by a woman, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? The pig pens need to be out the tea, you have to change. You know, so now equality until somebody trying to break in the house. Yeah, exactly. But this imagery is so bad that I don't think you can, you know, because I think the women who they said were used and abused and ran over because they were women and they were demure, seemed like those women were nicer people. Seemed like those women weren't as criminal minded or as evil or vindictive or spiteful or just mean spirited to men, women, and children. You know what I'm saying? Those people seem like they had they were more civilized than the women who want quote unquote equality or wanted and have lived in and have pushed for quote unquote equality. So I think the image is just been horrible, horrible, because and every time I see a new image come out, it comes out worse and worse and worse, and I don't think the women see it at all. I think they really think it looks good when they have no idea. The other thing about this is it's probably too late to escape equality because now people expect effort. Like here's the weird part. You've been taught that women are equal. They can do they can do anything a man can do. But when it's time to put in effort, you're helpless. So how the hell did you get empowered? But the minute it's time for you to put in work, you're helpless. Or doing something for a man is slavery, but a man doing something for you is how it's supposed to be. Your effort is contradictory and hypocritical. So now we're at this space where these guys are like, no. We're gonna see some effort, because my great grandmother used to actually do stuff. You don't do stuff. You said you got a job, you got an education, you got a job, so you're acting as though that absolves you of doing stuff. Well, guess what? My grandmama was a maid. My grandmama did hair on the side too. Cocoa butter was had. My grandmother did. My mother worked at McDonald's and whatnot. Like, my mother worked and still had to do stuff. Like, you don't get to exist. She still had to, handle her female role within the family. That didn't go, I went to work today, so I ain't got to do nothing. Nothing. No, that's bull. That's bull. See, that's the dynamic that's missing a lot of times. Hold up. Right. That's what I'm saying. They're not taking into consideration, because now men are expecting effort, and these women are getting mad. You gotta pay half. Yep. We gotta go 50-50. Yep. I gotta open my own door. Yep. I gotta pay my own bills. Yep. You asked for this. You asked for this. And not to mention, you wanna make your own money and practice hypergamy and not do anything for the man that you practicing hypergamy with, who's doing everything for you. The guys aren't raised like that. The reason why I say that is because a lot of these guys are raised by mothers, and their mothers ain't feeling that. Their mothers don't, like, even their mothers who were involved in feminism or feminist ideology, or who weren't involved in feminism or feminist ideology, they're not on board with a woman coming in and doing nothing. True story. Something happened with a family member. They have a girlfriend, right? And this family member is, just taking this girl places, and family member's parents say, "Hey, so when we gonna meet? We're gonna meet you, young lady." The young lady says, "Oh, we just figuring it out, da 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 da." And when I heard the story, I was like, "Oh, she didn't tell them that she was just figuring it out, did she?" They was like, "Yeah." So, make a long story short, since she didn't want to meet the family pulled up on her. Like, no. You're not just going to be going out, my son, just seeing where it goes while he's shelling out all this time, effort, and money. And I want to know who. I want to look you right in your eyes and see who you are, because that right there lets me know you just a user. You know what I'm saying? So that's a problem. Yeah, I get most mothers aren't feminine either, but that's on, that's a whole nother aspect of the imagery of women. It's not men's job to make women feminine. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's not men's job to make women feminine. It's just not. And women don't want to be feminine. Cool. No, it's what's happening. My bad, fam. Dwayne, I hope I said what's happening. You know, change your time 105. Yeah. So now, excuse me. You know, and that was one of the cool things about the movie The Banker, right? When I went to see that yesterday, Nia Long, they hardly really they showed them rarely having a disagreement. But Nia Long was so down for her husband in that movie. When they first moved to LA, they lived in one of her family's members' shed with their child. This is the 50s at the time. To the point when he got all these businesses popping, she was willing to be a lookout and be a maid or a janitor in the business in a different area, I think, city than her husband was to try to try to oversee things so it'll work. You're not going to see that type of down behavior nowadays. You get what I'm saying? Because that takes a lot of effort. That takes a lot of effort to be down for a guy through thick and thin. And we're not seeing that effort because, you want equality. And the equality, part of the bad part of the equality is that men have come to see is women have been looking for a better deal and kept monkey branching and hopping ship to get a better guy. And now, you might not be able to escape equality because that's what men are doing to women now. We just monkey branching, finding better deals. Circumstantial better deals. She better than you this week. I'm out. And now it's not cool. It ain't no fun when a rapper got the gun. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't. Now, my bad. But the other thing about this is empowerment. I don't think ladies can escape equality because they spent so much time on empowerment that was negative. Because now, even in our community in particular, it's really a known thing in our community and outside that mothers have been sabotaging their sons and thus empowering the daughters. You get what I'm saying? So now you're empowering the daughters, and now where the real men at? Ask your mama where the real men at. When y'all was busy doing empowerment and little JJ, y'all didn't invest in him, but you invest in your daughter then, or in the girls, it's a problem. When you sent the boys out to the wolves and the girls to, and you made sure that their schooling was right and you didn't care about the boys, that was a whole different thing. That's a problem. Empowerment is starting to bite chicks, and you want equality. So now these guys are slowly doing that. What's up, Priscilla? That's a healthy and living marriage. Yeah, but it does take a lot. But guess what? You want equality. A lot of these women don't trust men. And the sad part about it is there's no escaping equality because a lot of women who don't trust men are untrustworthy women anyways. They just see that themselves, they see because that they're women, they don't, I'm exempt from being a bad person or being a backstabber or not just being a good person whatsoever. And that's not how it works. But the empowerment part is, I've seen this families, of families when it comes kids die, parents die, kids inherit stuff. They give everything to the girl, leave the boys to fend for themselves. And I'm talking about grown men. Dads die, moms die, leave sister the house, leave sister the money, leave the two grown men with nothing. This is a problem. I know of, they are married women who are still living with their mother, and their husband got to move in with the mother, even though, because if he don't, they're going to wind up getting divorced. Man got his own money, got his own everything, but look at little mama. See, this empowerment thing went too far. when you hear people talk about marriage, what do they say? You marry her family, she don't marry yours. That's an actual thing. So everything, ask your mom. What's up here? What's happening, fam? So now this empowerment is going too far. Like even with the divorce laws and alimony and family law with child support, it's empowered the women financially, but society really has nothing to show for it. There's nothing that empowering women. I'm not gonna say nothing. There's very little income from the very little benefit from society because of the investment put into the women. The women have not invested in society. As a matter of fact, they just invested in trying to help other women, and more so just leisure. You know what I'm saying? Their leisure has increased, not their work ethic. You know what I'm saying? There's very little progress. Thank you. Now the other thing about this that I'm gonna get into real quick is, it's probably too late to escape equality because of sexuality. Women wanted sexual freedom and sexual liberation, and the very things that women are doing sexually and as far as their sexuality is really gone to an extreme that we probably can't come back from. Women are pushing to be at strip club. Like women wanted to enter into every male space, even when it came to sexuality. So now men can't enjoy even women in a raunchy sense of a strip club. Women got to be at men's strip clubs. Women got to talk to men's strippers. Women got to be, want to do threesomes with women, right? So even when it comes to men, expressing their sexuality with women became cock blockers and player haters on that. Women want to go out on all women's night and want guys to pay for it and guys to do this, that, and the third. Like, no. Women want to go on women's trips with other women and but spend another guy's money to do it, or have another guy kind of be the financial backbone of the situation. Women cheat on men with other women and call it, and it says it's not cheating. You know what I'm saying? So, Gangsta, my bad. What's happening, fam? So male only male only spaces are necessary, coach. They just are. Like, but we don't, everything if we gaming, women coming. We going to the game, women coming. We going to the strip club, women coming. The only male only space women really don't want to be involved in like that, and they slowly creep into that is warfare. They don't really want to be on the front lines like that. But some of them have got dumb enough that they wanted to do that. Like last night, I don't know if y'all seen the UFC fight, the two women that fought before the main event, girls lumped up. Like, see, women wanted to be in men's spaces and do what men do so bad. They're gonna wind up, you're gonna have CTE, women who suffer from CTE and brain damage, or who are punchy, who are invalids and whatnot, who's gonna have Parkinson's like that at 30, 40, 50 years old, because their bodies are not built for warfare like ours. The things that happen to us is an attrition over time. They're not built for that whatsoever. So you're going to see those things happen earlier to them than us. But getting back to the sexuality part, what's up, Imperfection? True changes, what's happening? What the hell? You starting that bullshit again? However, I thought you and you guys on the panel message wasn't a solution. Okay. Whatever. I didn't think your insulting ass attitude was a solution either, but you didn't stop that. I mean, you're a fucking troll. But back to the sexuality part. What winds up happening is, because everything is overtly sexual, because I was asking the young lady, the young woman today about, I said, do you want to get married again? And she's like, no. So, you know, they just want to turn up and have a hot girl life. Okay, have a hot girl life. You know what I'm saying? Have a hot girl life. Do that. But guess what's gonna happen? You got to live with that. You know, I was Sister George and Concrete Rose, the breakdown. They was talking this morning about the women, the signs of a good woman, and it was like, you know, women have this thing where if the girls who are selling sex get more attention than the women and wife who are quote unquote good women and wife material, then you know it's forcing them to compete like that. And I was like, well, if you're competing in the slut market, you're gonna get what sluts get. If you compete in the wife market, you're gonna get what the wives get. And this is the part of the sexuality where women are saying that they want that they're wife material, but they compete in the slut market. So they're competing for the men who are looking for sluts, acting as though, you know, it's a husband somewhere in the slut search. It's not. They might be one or two guys who actually looking for a wife, but everybody know you can't turn what into a housewife, right? So everybody, even the men know, you know what you're gonna get if you do that. But the ladies are doing the sexuality thing to the point where it's like you're not coming back, because if you flip it around and think that it would sound ridiculous if you said it to men. You know, if men say something like, I'm a grown man, I'm gonna go to college or be college age, and I'm gonna start experimenting with, you know, with men, and then when I graduate, I'm gonna go back to women, and then every now and then I might double dip, but that's not really cheating. You know what I'm saying? I'm just expressing my sexuality, but I'm looking for consistency, and I'm looking for a real woman. They don't go too well. Or, you know, guys are just, you know, who are just uber sexual, and I'm gonna just go out, you know, just call me Samuel L. Johnson, and the L stand for long. Denzel Sausageton. All everybody gonna see of me online is meat pics, just all meat prints. Pick. All, you know, chest to thigh area meat pic. You know what I'm saying? Check out Sausage Monday, Sausage Saturday, Sausage Sunday. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not gay no more. I like women. Like, you know, but that's we're being equal. We can equally just do whatever we want. And the other person, when we decide you got to accept me as I am with all of my flaws, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You know, it's just not gonna work. You know, you know, the other thing is the family aspect. I think, you know, it's too late to escape equality, because you can't escape. Like women, like it sounds weird, but I think older women are looking for family now, right? And that's what I was talking about, like people dating in general, dating online, dating social media, or online and social media, or dating even on dating apps. It's too late to escape equality, because the vast majority of you women are not looking to be wives. When you're in, you know, the older you get, you wind up running into older women who the educated, you know, I did all the right things. I went to school and got my education and got my career. Those women who are 30 something and up, they're looking to have children. They're not looking to be wives. You ask them, they're ready to have babies. Before they're ready to be a wife, they don't even think about being a wife. They think about having babies. I don't have kids. I want kids. I have a kid. I want more kids. They don't say I want to be married first. They don't come off that. That's not what they're saying. You get what I'm saying? So the guys are looking at it like, hey man, you want to be a baby mama. You if you want to be a mother, cool. In vitro. You know, you can get sperm. You remember how the lady, you said you can get that wood wherever, anywhere you get it. Everybody's always offering. Well, now you got to pay for it. A lot of people are paying for it. You know, thanks, Major. You know, now you got to pay for in vitro, and now nobody's gonna be on the hook for child support. You got to do this all on your own. How you love that? How you love that? Like, that's equality for you, because guys are not trying to sign up to be your baby daddy when they're in their 30s and up. And there's some guys out here who really who late bloomers, or decided to have babies again because they're in their 50s and 60s, and they met a younger woman, and it's kind of like a best of both worlds, because the only way she gonna get it out of him if she marry him, and he an older guy. I've seen that happen too. Uh-oh. I see you, Dizzy. Jacqueline, what's happening? So now we're in this thing, now we're in this thing where family ain't like family is looked at as mother and children. Family isn't looked at as husband, wife, and children. So now this is why you can't escape equality, because you want to have a family, but the family only includes you and the kids. So now, cool, it's gonna be just you and the kids, and you're gonna have to meet the sperminator. You know what I'm saying? You have to meet that guy in the bathroom that put it in the cup for you, or sign the waiver of, I'm not financially responsible for this baby if in vitro is too much for you. Same thing when I talk about sexuality and the thing about the family. You see, I've seen a lot of women who are with women now, but they have kids, and it's like, also your idea of a family was if it wasn't in vitro, a dude got you pregnant, and now he ain't supposed to be a father. Your girlfriend's supposed to be a father. Oh, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? So now we're playing that. So guys are looking at it very much so differently, and now I feel like, why I'm not going to be how I'm gonna be head of the household if you want to just be whatever. You just want to be single, and and plus the family thing dynamic also is, guys are not trying to teach women to be wives. A lot of women, a lot of women there are women who meet guys who are husband material, but the vast majority of women that I've known who came across men that were husband material, he always had to wait for her to get it together. Even if she had an education, a good job, and she was financially there, and this, that, and the third, she had no idea how to be good to a man. She didn't know how to love, cherish, honor, and obey a man. Those things were foreign to her. She couldn't do all four. She might have been able to do one or two, but not all four. You know what I'm saying? So now he had to wait on it, and he wasn't. As things get older, but you ain't gotta agree with it. That's what I'm not saying everything for you to agree with it. They are looking okay. You know. Why do y'all always troll like this? If that's how you feel, that's how you feel, fam. A B C C. That's how you feel. Cool. That's how you feel. But if you talk to women, if you talk to women, you'll see marriage ain't what they talking about. See, this is you can't escape this part. Roger, what's happening? You just aren't good people. You just date women. They gonna tell you they want to have kids. They want to have a man. They want to have sex. They want to get a free lunch, a free ride, or somebody to pay their bills. Being a wife is not husband. They want to be a wife to a husband. That ain't what come up. That's not. No, that may come up when you say, look, you didn't say you wanted to be a wife. Oh, I didn't. Well, that's built into it already. That's what it is. No, player, that's not what it is. You said what you wanted, right? Just not being raised to be partners. Have all this education, that is a problem. That is a problem. Like I've seen too many women. The mother thing I think is sad, because if you're a mother, if you're a mother nowadays, You make so many. I've seen mothers make so many mistakes repeatedly. It's not that you're not going to make mistakes as a parent, but to make the same mistakes repeatedly, over and over and over again, and the kid get worse and worse and worse and worse, and you don't change it. That's crazy. You know. Say it again. Tell them again, BGS. Tell them again. God dog it. I got to double check BGS because I done made a lot of people moderators, but I'll be doing this on my phone. So I'm gonna check and see if you are one on my phone. Okay. No, you're not until just now, God dog it. You know. So the thing about that is, the last thing about this whole scenario, and BGS, by the way, this is inspired by you again. The consequences. I think it's probably too late to escape equality because you can't escape these consequences now. See, a lot of the things that's going on negatively, you can't run from that no more. You can't. You all the bad decisions made, you gotta, you made this bed, you gotta lay in it. All the violent things that was done, you made that bed, you gotta lay in it. All the disrespect that was given out, you gotta get it back. You know what I'm saying? You know, all of the ideologies that sent you down a bad path in life, you gotta eat that. Like nobody's gonna come to bail you out no more because you're equal, you're strong, you're independent, you're brave, you're fierce, you're warriors, you're whatever, all that, whatever the mantra is, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to build generational wealth as a baby mama. All right, whatever. You got to live with that. Like you're going to face the consequences on that. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say what I'm saying is because what winds up happening is if you're a younger woman, I'm going to hip you to this part of the game. There, a lot of the older women who told you all this feminist ideology, when their kids became grown and they couldn't eat off their kids no more, they went scrambling looking for a man. Because the government ain't helping them. Ain't no alimony, ain't no child support. All the money that they've blown over the years is gone. The kids ain't gonna help them because their kids are supposed to be grown. You know what I'm saying? The kids have stopped helping people. The kids are not taking care of parents like they did back in the day. You own your own. There's so many women who at this particular point have lost their homes, have lost homes that they've inherited, went from homes to apartments, from homes to townhomes, and now they want a man. Now they looking to be a husband. And while you're at the age that you're still at the age where you can have children, or you're reaching the point where your children are getting older, by the time them kids get grown, that's gonna be you too. That's gonna be you too. You know what I'm saying? So now, y'all wonder why people, yeah, wow, you gave her an engagement ring. Wow, that's fertile. Thank you, Jacqueline. All them fertile years is over. It's over because now, hotcakes age. That'll work. This is one of the issues. This is one of the major issues that you just can't get around no more. Like these guys are not playing this game, and these women ain't playing. Man, Big Polka Dog, thanks, fam. I'm gonna ask the question. Hold up, because I know you just shoot it down, but not. Hold up, BGS. I will put the link in the chat if you want to explain to her in detail. But in ABCCC 1949,000, you can come on here too. Because I didn't spoke for an hour. I'm not tripping. But at the end of the day, you got to live with these consequences. You got to. Like even the guys that you're willing to get with nowadays, they're not finna bail you out. You look like the guys you're looking for to be the real men from back in the day. I've said it before. The guy that y'all said was real men from back in the day who took care of the family and was married and took care of the wife and took care of the children and raised the family, that's the same guy that y'all said was abusing people, beating people, cheating on people, had a family across town, but so the same person you want us to be is the same person you made this whole feminist ideology about, or you transform your ideology to that it's him. But so now, all of these contradictions are too much. I got you, fam. Let me cut the damn Prince off, even though I jam our damn Prince songs. But I know she don't want that smoke. I know she don't want that smoke. I know. My bad. But that's part of the issue, right? Well, and that's part of the issue also is, all these people coming around here talking all these things and been talking these things for years, but now y'all running from, quote unquote, the smoke that's going to come. You asked for all of this. Like you did. You asked for all of this. Like, this is not something that guys said you need to do. This is something you wanted to do. You fought to do this. So, you got to take the good with the bad. You just got to take the good with the bad. Like, it's bunk beds 2020. Yeah, it's hilarious. The women being, so social to the point where they don't mind walking up on other women. Like, I was in the grocery store after after I went to the gym. And after I went to the gym and then I went to Walmart. I get so tired of seeing women who want to be dudes try to size men up. Like, chick, I'll slap a perm on your head again. Like, what are you doing? I don't care how tight your sports bra is. You're never going to be a man. You know what I'm saying? But this is why I'm saying, you want equality, it's going to go too far. Yeah, ain't no fun when a rapper got the gun. That was the thing. So we're in this point where Future was a user. Now, Future isn't a user. Future is Future. Like, we know what a buck look like. Like if you're a woman who's having sex with Future, and now there is what's going on. You know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't nowhere around it. Future got me pregnant. Future got a lot of people pregnant. Future might get somebody pregnant tomorrow, but you wanted to be pregnant. You know what I'm saying? All of this, I'm going to travel, I'm going to do me, I'm going to eat, I'm going to brunch, I'm going to this, I'm going to that. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not into playing that, personally, I'm just saying it the way I think about it now. It's like, it ain't no getting around it. It ain't no getting around it. I know I put it in there somewhere. So now we be dealing with people who Future didn't do Sierra dirty. How did, like, Fabian, how did Future? Sierra had no business dealing with Future. No business. No, but here's the thing. This is what I'll be talking about. We act like Sierra was innocent. Look at the image that Sierra put out of herself. That would mean it makes sense that she was screwing a guy like Future. It makes sense. Would you think of Sierra on stage? She's gonna start twerking. Sierra her music is pseudo stripper, refined thought type of stuff. I like, Sierra cool, but even when she got with Russell Wilson, there's times where that inner thought comes out. Let me do some thought shit. Let me do some thought shit online. Like, hold up, you married? Chill out. Like, stop advertising for the streets. Like, stop. Like, she had to go through that phase. Same thing. Even Aisha Curry is the same way. Man, what's up, cynical? Like, these ladies gonna have to deal with this shit. Like, what is the thing that's happening right now with old girl Megan Thee Stallion? You got a better entry deal than a vast majority of people, and you complaining. And your mother was in the music industry, and she signed off on a deal, and now you complaining. And you full of it. Nobody did you wrong. Nobody did you wrong. You get to own 40% of your masters. If I was you, I'd have dropped 4 albums in a year, and then got another album deal, and been like, you know what? I own 40% of those masters. So my next deal, I gotta own at least blah 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 blah. I gotta own at least 80% of my masters, or I gotta own my masters outright, or you can license me out or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but no, instead of just riding that wave, it's a man's fault. You know, I know you MGTOW, I know I put it in there for you. I'll put it in there, but whatever. I do it again. Right? You know, so now you want to play that, right? Free spirit. Y'all want to be free spirited? Go do your thing. Because there's a lot of guys who got played over the years in various different ways because of this idea of equality. Because a part of this equality things was a lot of guys got done dirty because women were trying to find equality. I got you, MGTOW. They were fighting equality, but they were fighting men, and the men didn't know it. You there? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Good looking, brother. I'm here. Greetings.
Greetings. Speak your mind, fam.
They you know what it is women are going to start to face the reality, especially with war, when they start getting sent off and stuff. They're going to see that they can't do what a man does. I mean, a man destroying us destroys them, and they just keep constantly hammering at it. My theory is that when a woman, if she's supposed to be special and pure, like she's the vessel that is going to gestate the child, and this is science. Once a woman starts having more than one partner, the semen from men actually have a battle within her body. Now, somebody wrote a book called Sperm Wars that talk about this. And I noticed every woman that has this kind of psychosis has a very promiscuous background. And it's like, and the scientist that wrote the book, he said he got backlash because when women, there's a thing, bacterial vaginosis. Women get that when 2 different sperms are battling in her vagina, it causes that
smell.
Yes, exactly. So imagine 3, 4, 5. I have documented accounts of a woman that had a train run on her by 9 guys, and then the guy that watched married her. You know, the first. I don't understand it.
Like when I was in college, I went to 2 different colleges. In both colleges, there were a summertime scenario where, and this is like in a year span, chick in summer school got a train ran on her at one school, but it was filmed. She wanted to cry rape, and it was like, it's all on tape. Went to the other school. When I transferred, went to the other school. Same scenario. Girl got a train ran on her. You know, she wanted to cry rape. It was like, it's on tape. And this is what I mean by like the consequences is like, you know, and that was 99 and 2000. So we're dealing in an era of society where people don't really want to take into consideration that nobody's playing these games, and you're going to deal with everything. Because even though, like when I was telling the sister at the gym, I told her to go back to her husband. Because in my mind, even if you're attractive, if you got young kids, men ain't trying to holler at you like that. They trying to smash you. So if you're looking for a man, you ain't finna get that.
Yeah. Once they have sex with anything more than once they have sex, when they come to a real man would know that you have lowered yourself to the status of concubine. You can never be the queen because you have this other man inside of you, and he will be there forever. And this is science as well. They're finding sperm in the brain of women who have never gestated sons to prove that had to come from the semen. So this is another science that they don't want to come out, that women hold the semen from every man they've ever encountered. So this is why the king, when he had children with his virgin bride, only the son of that virgin could be king. If he had a son with the concubine before that, he would be outcasted because that son was mixed with the previous men that she was with. And this is, ancient historical fact to be like why it was so important when they procreated for the hierarchy to say, okay, who's going to inherit the kingdom? And people would wonder, well, why doesn't your son over here that looks stronger and more robust that you created with this concubine, why doesn't he be king? And it's because of that genetic reality that the woman has to really be pure. And once she's impure, if you go religious and you look back religious, cheating with the serpent, Lilith getting thrown out the garden, didn't want to submit to man. Eve, the same thing. So now it seems like we're still battling this thousands of years later. And a man told me once, he said, every woman has a little hole in them. And if you let it out, you'll never get it back in. And I see this. I see this in reality.
I mean, I've seen, like, I know chicks like that. What I find. See, part of this, like, I know I have friends that are like friends, like personal friends who I've known for years. And the female ones who wanted to be like, have that feminist ideology or pseudo feminist, none of it ended well. Like none of it, not one, none.
None.
And the crazy part about it is, they were having so much fun when they were younger, and they had so much time, and they thought so many men was gonna come along, and it's like none of that happened. All of the type of men that they said they wouldn't be with are the only type of men that would deal with them now. All the situations all the guys that they looked over, even the guys that were productive and progressive, even when they thought they could keep going up the totem pole, the guys that they skipped over or they used, those guys are married and have children, or those guys are just doing well in life. It's them that's not doing good.
Yeah, it's totally. I'd like to address Priscilla, Pretty Priscilla Pink. She says BV, bacterial vaginosis, also happens from an imbalance, and it's because of the pH. She's trying to blame detergents, non-cotton panties. Now, it's a fact that women have a higher pH than men. We're alkaline, they're acidic. Their acidity protects them. When more than one sperm goes in there, it offsets the pH, and that's what causes the smell. But that's a hard reality to accept. So for somebody to say it's non-cotton panties, perfume soaps, that's
but if you the end of the comments,
nothing against her.
No, but even at the end of it, she says semen causes, because we know this to be true. Some of the things that I don't talk about. Like, I got a homeboy who doesn't like getting oral sex because a chick gave him a VD from her throat.
Yes, there's big cases of throat gonorrhea going around on colleges.
So it's like, these things are, guys have been burned in so many different ways. And like I said, a lot of this stuff stems from man hate.
It does.
And all this man hate all this man hate winds up ending bad. And now women are dealing with a society of men who are like, okay, you don't like men, cool. Okay, you want to be equal, cool. Okay, you want to compete, cool. Okay, I'm an enemy, cool. That's how we're gonna rock with it. And I was like, no, don't do that. Like, no, you might be too late now.
Yeah, it's kind of like them saying we're the professional driver of the ship of the family, and they don't know how to fully drive, but they want us to step aside and drive. When a woman says, oh, I'd like a 50-50 relationship, she's saying she wants to be in charge. No two people can't steer the wheel at the same time. And the man steers that wheel properly, because we see if the man isn't there for the children to grow up, the children get run astray. You never hear somebody says that girl has mommy problems. It's always she got daddy problems. to show them how important the man is. Feminism, one of its purposes that people don't like to admit is that its purpose was to destabilize the black man, to not let him have the job. We'd rather let women of every color have the job instead of the black man. And then they can also tax the other half of the population, which brought in crazy income tax. What happened a few years later? I think it was Gerald Ford. When he signed in the no-fault divorce, oh my goodness, you didn't need a reason to get divorced. And that's when the culture of whoredom began.
I'm not, and the crazy part about it, even when you talk about the control, even in the whoredom and all that, ironically, that I'm a person who I like to observe, and I let do whatever you want to do. That's how I operate. Because what I've come to find out over the years is, and I was listening to a podcast talking about this. It's a lot of people who say they're a boss, but it's a lot of people who are just fake bosses, who they just want to say they're a boss in public. And I don't get the boss thing in general, because this boss shit is just a word to me. Y'all been listening too much to Rick Ross. But what it is if you think you're running shit, well, the buck stops with you. See, there is nobody to point the finger to. When it succeeds, it's your fault. When it fails, it's your fault. And we're dealing in a society of people who everybody wants to raise their hand when they succeed, but when they fail, it's somebody else's fault. And now there's no guy to be around. You know, I remember Sergeant Willie P. used to talk about the men aren't even in the room. You're looking to blame men for situations now when the men aren't even in the room. Now it's no getting around this.
It's true. It's true that it's crazy right now, because you see, I mean, not only that we have this culture, but we also have the influx of people trying to blend that line between man and woman, which is a very distinct line. You know, there's man, woman, and then there are people born that are hermaphrodites. Some people are born without genitals that need surgery to make openings. But the bottom line, it's all a hybrid of a man and a woman in a genetic sense. So there is no, like, if a man gets a sex change and he gets a vagina and everything and breast, he is still a man. He still contains Y chromosome, but they are blending that line. And I noticed they're using like newspeak, kind of like from the 1984 George Orwell, to where we don't know what things mean. Oh, this man wants to be identified as a woman. You know, this woman wants to be identified as a man. And it is rampant in Hollywood. You can pick them out in Hollywood. They call it the tranny apocalypse. But, you know, and not to offend anybody, but yeah.
No, like I had a conversation with a friend of mine last year, and she was talking about her son. And he's a smart kid, like a smart kid, good kid, young man. He's not a kid no more. He's like 18 now. But we just having the conversation, talking. She's proud of her son, and then somehow it came up that she's like, I would have his back even if he wanted to wear a dress. And I'm looking at her like, where the hell that came from? We was talking about education in college. He wanted to go to a HBCU. Where did the dress come up? And, you know, my bad. Hold up, Raj, I see you. I did not see that first. My bad, fam. But when she said that, I was like, you worried about the wrong thing. Because the boy he don't like guys. He likes girls. So you just interjecting that and nothing. And the reason I bring it up, because of what you were saying, is because 99.99999.0% of men do not want to be Bruce Jenner. That is not nothing that we want to do.
It's true. It's true.
So that ain't even a place we going. Roger, you got it, fam.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna say it like this. Well, you know, right now I've been saying black women just ain't good people, so let's get that out of the way. Let's just get that out of the way. But the thing is, when we have these conversations, all they do is keep proving my point. Um, Black women have fought for equality, and I'm not saying that it's bad that they fought for equality, but the thing is, they've got it now. And now that they have equality, what do they want to do? They want to blame every shortcoming on someone else, even though they have their own agency to do whatever it is that they want to do. And when you got your own agency where you can do whatever it is that you want to do, you can't blame men that you're not taking care of the way you're supposed to be, because you can take care of yourself the way you're supposed to be. You can't blame men that your kids aren't taken care of right, because you have agency and you get to dictate what your kids do, how your kids live, what they listen to, what they watch on TV. See, you got all this agency about what you can do. But what do women go to? Well, my kids would be fine, but his daddy ain't no good. Well, you had agency to pick the daddy in the first place. There is no man in our American culture that can decide to be a daddy without a woman's permission. If you do it without a woman's permission, it's called rape. Simple as that. So unless you're going to claim that all these kids is coming from a bunch of rape babies, then something is wrong with you at the end of the day. And if you're going to make that claim that all these kids is coming from rape babies, then why are you as women protecting all these people that's raping you? Because you the one got their identities, you know who they are, so why aren't you telling them? So at the end of the day, women just don't want to be, they just don't want the responsibility that comes with the power they've gained.
Here's the thing, like I'm gonna say this to M. West. I absolutely get what you're saying. I was raised, around Big Mama, but the Big Mamas that I was raised around, that was because my granddad's great granddad was dead. That was it. It wasn't, she was Big Mama because great granddad was dead. My grandmother was Big Mama because my granddad had a stroke when I was very young. You get what I'm saying? So he was bedridden and then he died. But this Big Mama thing, we act as though these Big Mamas didn't get the money and the direction and the guidance for the men that they were married to, because all these Big Mamas was married. It's rare to find a Big Mama who wasn't married.
True. All women get their money from men, whether it's from their father's inheritance, their husband. No woman has created their wealth off of themselves. Like if you look back into history, the first Black female millionaire got her money through inheritance, and that was the woman that actually gave $1 million to John Brown to go around and kill slave masters. And what I notice is every woman of color has been put in the position of that slave master, and that's how they treat Black men. I noticed that. I'm saying, why does it seems like a whip is on my back? And one guy made a good point. He said that's who they use to keep the Black man in line. They use their own woman, and now she has overgrown those chains and is on all of them. And it is ugly, but it's true. I mean, dating site statistics show that if you put a white man's picture up there, Black women respond to them quicker than they respond to any Black man. Yeah. And they've proven this. Yeah, it's crazy.
But that's part of the conversation too, in the sense of you're not going to be able to escape the reality that you had your dating choices and you had the people that you preferred. So the men are going to have people that they prefer too. I'm not going to say those women have to be non-Black, but you might be a Black woman who's just not preferred. And I ain't just talking about quote unquote colorism. You just might be bad built.
Yeah. That's a lot of reasons that men reject women. I think the issue comes down to, first of all, the people who make excuses for women, at the end of the day, they just still scared of women. A lot of guys were just raised in single mother homes. A lot of women were raised in single mother homes, and the fear of God has been put into them from a general sense when it comes to women. Therefore, they will always make an excuse for a woman. Women have their own agency. You're saying, me as a grown man, I don't blame my parents for anything. I don't blame the school I went to for anything. I don't blame who was the president for anything. At the end of the day, every shortcoming I got comes out to something to do with me. And folks just don't want to take responsibility for their own agency. If you are a good woman, men want you. That's just how it is at the end of the day. If you're a bad woman, men don't really want you. So women who who are dealing with this, well, I can't find no good man. The problem is the good man ain't looking for you. And we just got to accept these terms. And because you have a large group of black men that's just not married to black women, yet no other group of men come in and marry them instead of us, there's obviously something wrong with the women. And if women have an issue with that, then we need to change the culture, and they need to start proposing. Because at the end of the day, if the measurement is based on who the man proposed to, if you ain't gonna get on your knees and start making all these proposals, then it's up to us to say what's good and bad. It doesn't make a difference how a woman feels about herself. She is not good unless the men say she's good. The same way as a man, I can't say I'm good as a man. Well, actually I could, but but from a general standpoint, yeah, if the men don't agree that you're good, then you're not good. It's just that simple.
Before Calm Fury, you got it.
All right, I'm sorry. It took me a long time to get logged in. So were they answering a specific question or just stating their opinions on the matter?
You could speak on what you wanted to speak on.
I gotta say,
it took you a long time to log in. I know there's something on your mind.
Yeah. As of late, I've been working a lot, and I've also been avoiding a lot of videos from you and BMT, because every time, and I talk about this with my friend, it always depresses me to see the way things are headed, because for some reason we can all see it. Men, we all notice this. Those of us that ain't got our heads up our asses and that don't got our pussy blinders on, we can see it, but a lot of the sisters don't. The equality is coming. It ain't gonna be pretty. And for a long time, I know since before I was born, we've been trying to tell them, and they just don't hear it. That's about it. It just bugs the crap out of me. They don't want to see it. They don't want to face it. It's like they want to put themselves in a position to be a victim just for a short-term victory, if they can even call it that much.
See, I'm sorry that we depressing you for one, but I know the feeling. Back to what you're talking about, Roger, about the proposals. You remember recently, like last year, the last 2-3 years, there've been a lot of that on social media with women getting on their knee and proposing to guys. Because and I don't see it happening a lot, but I think to. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's gonna, because these guys are not gonna. I don't want to be with you like that. And it's no offense to the ladies, but because of this, it's not just the equality, but this mindset. These guys are not seeing anything worth marrying, even if they with you in a relationship. So that's where, that's just where it is now. Like we joke about it, we talk about it. A lot of these sisters aren't raised to be wives. They don't have no idea. They don't know how to take care of a man. They don't know how to cater to a man. They don't know how to just be loving to a man. So most guys can see that. A lot of men have accepted the fact that she's never going to be able to take it, have any type of real love for me, unless I'm paying for it. And then that's fake because, it's like a taxi ride.
Yeah. Marriage.
Well, I'll say what you won't say.
Hold on, Roger. Let me make Tal go.
My bad. Go ahead.
Marriage, in a sense, in the Western world, is kind of like a type of prostitution, and it's a prostitution where the man can continually have to pay for what he used for the rest of his life. In New York and California, if you marry a girl that's uneducated for over 10 years and you divorce her, you have to pay alimony for the rest of your life until she dies or gets married. And that's crazy. Women want to get married, but they're not ready to be a wife. They want to have children, but they're not ready to be a mother. And the fact that they have been trying to emasculate the whole population of men, we don't have as many men that speak out the way we do. We're like actually the unique men of the society.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And
you got it, Roger.
I was gonna say the thing is, we just gotta accept that a lot of sisters are losers at the end of the day. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying it because it's factual. If no matter what you do, won't anybody accept you? It's probably because you're a loser attitude. Now, it's not that they're in a position that they have to be losers. Truth be told, this is just what they choose. They want equal power, yet they don't want equal responsibility. They want agency, yet they don't want to deal with what comes with the agency they have. Then, if it's about submitting to a man because they think that's a curse word of some kind or some type of curse that they got to submit to a man, yet they want the man to pay the bills for them. See, I'm not even tripping about the you know how people talk about how men have to pay or versus
Right.
a man being a trick versus the woman being a hoe. At the end of the day, if we just go on the base level, all women are hoes and all men are tricks, because there's no woman that got married to a man, even if he was good, that didn't spend some money on that woman. That just don't happen from a realistic standpoint. So the problem is these losers don't want anything unless they're taking from somebody else. If you are a woman and you want to be paid for it, then you need to respect the man that's willing to pay. If you are a woman and you don't want to be paid for it, then you need to go earn your keep and stop complaining that it's some man's fault that your life looked the way it is because you have agency. Accept your responsibility for what you did with yourself.
That's it. Now you just started some other stuff because now you're gonna say they losers now. Oh Lord.
No, I mean, losing is a choice. You got to choose to be a loser.
No, you know
God
what
didn't
I'm
make
saying.
you one.
First thing I
No,
get people
I get it.
lose. Oh, it's about the. Oh God.
Well, yeah, well, y'all remember I'm the one that said it. L.A.R. didn't say it. I'm the one that said y'all losers, but at the end of the day, y'all are losers by choice, because there is nothing stopping any one of y'all from deciding to be a winner today. Ain't nothing stopping you but yourself.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna push back on that just to be a. I wore a Browns hat yesterday, right? The Browns have the talent to be winners, right? They just don't have the culture to be winners. So they're losers, not by talent, but by culture. Because they got everything they need, but they keep fucking it up. So it's hard I can't call the Browns losers. I got to call their ownership losers. I got to call their GM losers. Because how come that all your players could go somewhere else and be winners, but they can't be in your damn building consecutively, year after year? We got the number one. The Clippers used to be what? Losers. They had the number one pick 30 years in a row. Couldn't win over 20 games. Something was wrong with the culture. I hope that was a bit. I tried to push back, but I sound like I agree with your ass. Anyway,
well, let me throw this out here real quick. And this is why I say it's a choice to be a loser. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, there is some man somewhere that will pay for you for the rest of your life if you're a woman. There's some man that's willing to do it. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you which one for each woman, but there's some man that's willing to do it. At the end of the day, like even when women decide to deal with other groups of men, the same stuff that black men been telling them, they just simply do it. When if the white guy shows up, they stop with all the back talk. They stop with all the trying to control everything. They stop trying to say how they're superior to the man. All the stuff that black men say, they just simply use it when a non-black man shows up. So does that tell me they don't know how to be winners? No, that tell me they completely know how to be winners. They just simply don't choose to, because at the end of the day, they white supremacists.
Well, let me say this, and then y'all got it. For a lot of the women I've come across who do that, they can only do that for a time period. They can't maintain it. The vast majority of them can't maintain it. That's why these guys don't wife them up either, because they keep letting it slip out. You know what I'm saying? It just keeps coming out. They can't cut that shit off. They enter into like, he ain't black, so I got to be on my best behavior. But just like when a kid that's around you going to be on their best behavior, you got to keep your foot on their neck after a while, because when they get comfortable, they want to keep trying.
Wow, that's a really good observation, and it's true. It is true. It's like they are on their best behavior. And what the brother said, that, yeah, they lose all of that stuff when they get with the white dude. Now they act feminine. Now they acting subservient. But like you just said, it's true. They can only keep that up for a certain amount of time. That's excellent observation.
I'm probably about 10 minutes. I'm gonna shut it down, but I'm glad you in here, Dina. Men's treatment of women in the past is why things are the way they are. I would like to ask you a question, Dina, because I guess we all black. Are you black? Because I want to know, if you're black, what did black men do to black women for this reason? As a matter of fact, what did white men do to white women? Because they've been eating this whole fucking time. You know, what did Native American men do to Native American women? What did Hispanic men do to Hispanic women? What did the Asian men do to the Asian women? Because all y'all women say y'all all together in a group because y'all got done so wrong.
If I may?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say, L.A.R., you know, you mentioned this once before, how some brothers, for example, would tell their wives to stop working because, you know, shit that would happen in the workplace when a white boy did something to him. My biological dad was actually one of them guys because some motherfucker decided he wanted to throw a wrench through a window at my mom and got some glass in her eye, and then he talking crazy to her. Ain't shit happened to him. My father's like, but if I did some shit like that, I'd be in prison. So my father was one of them guys that told his wife to stop working. And then as far as, you know, the whole men's treatment of women, like you've mentioned, because I've seen it plenty of times, a lot of brothers do females right. It's just for some reason they have this selective vision, this weird selection process. They will deliberately pick the most fucked up dude, and that'll be the one they do everything. It's the, what was it you called it? The good bad guy and the bad good guy cycle.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they get stuck in. And so now they're trying to blame the good brothers for all the fucked up shit, but not holding the bad guys accountable. I can say plenty of times in the past, I had a female I was dealing with. She tried to come at me with something the last guy did, and she'd be all good and dandy until I say, okay, hang on, let's go to his house. You can say this shit to him because he ain't about to take it out on me. And suddenly that shit stops. So the reason I'm bringing this up is that what when she says the way women and men are, because of the way the men treated the women, is she talking about the way the women got treated by the men they chose, or the way women got treated by the men that they ignored?
Like, to me, all of this is fictional, because the thing about it is, I'm not gonna say men didn't cheat. Okay, what's up, Ella? What's up, sister? No problem. Thank you for coming by. I'm not gonna say the men back in the day didn't cheat. I'm not gonna say men back in the day they weren't men who didn't beat women. I'm not gonna lie like that. But see, I keep saying this. I was raised by my grandparents. So women nowadays hear the men were cheating and having side babies, right? Mama's baby, daddy's maybe. It ain't because daddy might or might not be there. Daddy's maybe is because they didn't have DNA tests. There were a lot of men out there who were actually married men taking care of another man's child, and he figured it out, but he couldn't prove it. See, that part we leave out. That is one of the issues that went on in these marriages. You see, people forget, oh, that could be the milkman baby, the mailman baby, because what happened was women were cheating. How did I learn this? I learned it from my grandmother. My grandmother used to watch Maury Povich, and she used to crack up. And I was like, why are you laughing at this? And she'd be like, because back in my day, we just had to tell a man that the baby was his, and he had to believe us.
Yep. Now they have a statistic saying that over 10% of men who are married are not the father unknowingly of their children. So, and it was actually higher. It was like 20% in the classroom. They were doing a genetic test for like a study, and it came up to where it was over 20%. So you got kids in the classroom with married parents, and the guy thinks he's the father, and 20% of them wasn't, to where now in Germany, they give 50% off the DNA tests on Father's Day for men, because 1 out of 5 men were not the father of what they thought was their children. So this is a reality. You're right.
I'm gonna say something, and I don't mean to interrupt y'all for this, but when I was working out today, me and the ladies was talking, and we were joking around, and I asked her, "What's my name?" She's like, "I don't know." I said, "Exactly. So don't ask me for nothing." So, but then I asked her what her name was. So we got into the stories on names because they made fun of mine and I made fun of theirs. And then she told me her middle name got changed because her mom gave her the middle name after the dude that she liked and not her dad. So I said, "You got a side baby middle name?" And people don't think about this. And I know and that was just today, but I know of other women who have middle names, nicknames, last names of the guy that mom wanted more or liked more. Or first names, or these mixture of names. People don't take into consideration that's what some of these effed up names are about.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. And I'm gonna say that I heard about the DNA testing, and I've heard the numbers go as high as 30% of the men who believe a child is theirs, then find out it's not their kid. So women have been playing this game for a long time. Yeah, there was no way to really nail them to the cross about this actually happening. But see, the thing is, we gotta think about, how did a woman get into this situation? She just wasn't a good person. She was cheating on her man, of course. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where it comes from. She was cheating on her man. Then she had a baby. She didn't even give the guy a choice to say, "Look, I was cheating. I got pregnant by this other dude. It ain't gonna be your kid. What do you want to do?" She ain't gonna even give him that much respect because women have been trained. And this is my opinion. I'm not gonna put this on y'all, but women are white supremacists. Generally, when you talk about black women, they're white supremacists because they use the same ideologies that white supremacists use. When it comes to a black man, you are to serve her. The job is simply to get pregnant. It doesn't make a difference who the kid's father is. The person that's going to take care of this child is the person I dictate to take care of this child. That's what they did in white supremacy. That's what they did on the plantations. Women have that same thought process. So if she can get a baby by a man for whatever reason, she still wants the baby taken care of by the man she chooses to be taken care of. And sometimes they just pick a man to take care of the baby because they feel he's a better guy. He has more money. He has a better job. He has his own business, whatever the case is. But when you boil it down to the bare minimum, it just comes from her not being a good person. That's all it really means at the end of the day. Good people do a bad thing. I mean, bad people do bad things.
Yeah.
Just what it is.
Hold up, Kong Fury. I just got to be petty. See that, M. West? You're a foot taller than all the men in your family. I guess it's because all of those bad men from back in the day who were on the Philadelphia 76ers, Wilt Chamberlain came through. There wasn't nobody else. You know what? All your brothers and uncles is 5'4", you 6'5", and you thought that picture, that poster of Magic Johnson, it was your daddy's poster all these years, and your mama's just such a big fan of the Lakers. You didn't know. I just had to play with y'all that. You got it, Kong Fury.
I was going to say, women tell two of the biggest lies that can ever be told, and they can only be told by women. The first one is, that's your child. And the second one is, that's your father. Those are the two biggest lies that can be told to children and men, and it can only be told by a woman.
And that's sad to say that, because when you said that, I thought about it. If a guy tells a kid that you ain't my child, and he ain't, he still looked at it as a jerk. Why you gonna tell a baby that you're not their daddy? Because I'm not their daddy.
But that's just because you have women that support the culture of being bad people. At the end of the day, that's the supporting of being bad. It's one thing to go get pregnant by another man. It's a whole other thing to get another man to take care of the child, unknowing that it's his kid. They just won't come clean for anything, and a lot of them they're gonna take secrets to the grave. They're gonna take secrets to the grave before they admit they did something wrong, because their thing is about image. The same way white supremacy has always done negative things, but they do so much to show that their image is good as white people. It's the same mentality, no different.
You know what's funny? That was the funniest thing about those Tyler Perry movies. And the plays that wasn't Tyler Perry plays that were spinoffs. Everybody who liked all them plays and all of those type of movies, they had one of the themes in those movies was the mother or the matriarch being on something real extreme that everybody just acted like was okay. It was the matriarch pimping the kids. It was the matriarch raising kids that wasn't theirs under a lie. It was the mother getting pregnant by men and one man's taking care of kid thinking it's his and it's not. I remember there was one particular play. I forgot who it was, and the dude was a pastor. He died. The woman is grown, the daughter's grown, and then the mother hooks up with the old boyfriend, and baby, I'm your daddy. This chick like 30-something years old in the play. Now he want to show up. Your father was such a good man. We wanted you to have a good father. What? You let that man die believing that was his daughter, and you knew the whole time, and his wife knew the whole time, and y'all act like y'all some good godly people, and just show up, because your mama said, "Oh, daddy, it's all good. I am your real father. You need to love me, baby." Like, nigga, what? And you should never trust a mother like that. I loved your father so much. I just used him all these years, and if I would ever told him this, he would have threw me out on the street. But I knew better because he's a good man. I was doing him a favor. Doing him a favor, huh? And I say that in a joke, but I got a family member like that. That's my gammy. I got a family member like that. How come nobody in the family look like me? Because they ain't your damn family. That's why.
Same here. Got a guy out there who thinks he and I have the same father because mama lied her ass off to him.
Yeah, the guy who wrote the book, I think it was Pimp, Iceberg Slim, he made a very good account that his father had left the mother, so impregnated her. She had him. She went and found a guy, a black man that owned a business. Now this is, pre-civil right, 60s, 70s type of stuff. And the black man that she got with was not an attractive man, he said, but he accepted him as his son and was like probably the best father. He was saying, taking care of him. He said in the book that his own mother left that man and went back to his abusive father, where he was basically not even acknowledged as a person anymore. So it showed how the mother did not care for the son. She found a man that actually was saying, you know what, I'll take care of him. I know he's not my son, but she wasn't looking out for the best interest for her child. I call that when a woman is on tails from the clit. So she's following that, and she doesn't care about anything else but satisfying that sexual urge. She will throw away child, friend, and family, and she will go on what is known as tails of the clit.
Yeah, I know shit, man. Go ahead, man.
I was gonna say that now that we have social media and people can basically express more feelings than what they used to. When you look at a lot of sisters on social media and what they complain about, they talk about how this nigga wasn't no good. This nigga, my baby daddy, but he locked up. This nigga, my baby daddy, but he won't pay. This nigga know who I am. He know his kids out, but he won't call. They say all these different things about what this man won't do, who they done had kids by. So my question is, if a guy is trash when it comes to being a father, and if a guy is a deadbeat when it comes to being a father, if a guy does not even care that his child is alive, no one's gonna fight a fight to say that this is a good man. Yet we act like the woman that wanted him, that made a life-changing decision to have a baby by him, it can somehow be a good woman. You cannot have a woman willing to give a baby to somebody in today's time, and the guy is bad, yet she be a good woman. because good women don't want to have the children of bad men. Because we are, come on, look, we got to be realistic. We're at a time that people are they're liberated sexually because no one has to have a baby just because they had sex. Them days has been over with for a long time. You got condoms and all kind of other forms of. I heard women got like 33 forms of birth control. I'm not exactly sure on what it is because I ain't gonna go through the trouble to count because I ain't no female. But I know I've been using one form and it's been working. You know, I'm 42. I ain't got no kids. It's been working like a charm. So at the end of the day, women are having sex with certain guys, but they still choosing to have a baby by another guy. And if the guy is no good and you have a baby by him, ain't nowhere in the world you about to tell me you're a good woman. How can that even be?
See, man, I'm gonna try to be fair and split it down the middle because I think when people use these things, they act like two of these things don't exist. They are men out here who will be fly until they get you, and if they knock you up, then they don't like you no more. There are guys like that, but people try to say all these guys like that. No, there are women out here who are trying to have a baby, and the guy figured out he got played. That's the other side of it. Yes. Like these women think, oh, all these guys. No, all these guys ain't just leaving you. I know too many women who want to. I know personally too many women who want to have kids. And when you as a man, when you around women who want to have children, you come to find out they are very savage and do not care who they have a kid by, when they or where they have a kid, or where they don't care about none of that. They just want a kid.
But wouldn't a good person care?
See, man, you doing this again.
Baby rabies is a motherfucker.
Yeah. Baby rabies sets on a lot when they hit the wall at 30 because she loses 90% of her eggs at 30, 95% by the time she's 35. So the baby rabies is in overdrive, and she wants the beta bucks a man to get that check. So she will have a child with anybody. But we also under attack by Western invention. They're trying to chemically castrate men. Birth control was created by the same company that made the Nazi gas. That's the same company. And also they're related, to the Bayer company. I've researched this in depth. You can check it out. It's true. The Bayer company.
Wait. Bayer as an aspirin?
As an aspirin. They had to pay a 1.5 billion, I think it was, because they had given over 150 people AIDS through faulty medicine. That never came out. Also, they're linked to the Nazi gas company, which is also linked to the birth control pill company. And what it does is when a woman takes birth control and she's having sex with you, it alters her hormone. So that's not like a prophylactic, which is a physical form of birth control, like a diaphragm, a prophylactic. You're dealing with hormonal birth control now. So the man, say she marries a guy, she starts taking birth control. We don't want to have kids for a few years. Now, when she gets off of birth control, her hormones change and she isn't attracted to that man's scent anymore. So we are under attack by some serious stuff. And, this is why I'm researching it. When I come out with the book, I'm going to let your brothers know. Definitely.
Do that. Like I'm gonna shut it down now because you didn't. Now I gotta go learn some things in my damn life because I had no idea that. I knew about Porsche and Boss and freaking Volkswagen, all that other shit. I did not know that. But go on, Roger, say what you gotta say.
I mean, what he's saying does make sense, but I'm just gonna say this: at the end of the day, if you really are a good woman, I mean, you got your whole teens and 20s. So you're 18 years old, you're an adult. That's when you can go get married. You know what I'm saying? You don't need your parents' permission anymore. So to even go from 18 to 30, yet you don't have a husband, says something about what you were looking for and how something was not a priority to you, point blank, period. So, if you want to have a kid, yet you don't prioritize having a husband, you can figure that out for yourself. But to me, it's going to equal up to you're probably not that good of a person. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because you don't even care enough about your child that you want to have the father in the home with the child. If you don't care about your child that much, I don't know what to say about you. Now, if you say, well, I didn't understand, it was my first time. Okay, I got one baby. Well, you know, you got all these women that have multiple children, even though they weren't married, or they had no committed relationship. And even for the women that say, well, you know, I don't believe in the state sanctioned marriage, I don't see them having non-state sanctioned marriages either. So at the end of the day, a proper father for that child is not their concern. And to me, if you're willing to bring a child in the world without two people willing to take care of the child, two people stable to take care of this child, then how much can you really care about this child?
That's child abuse.
Exactly. But I'm gonna leave it there. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless. And I'm not using aspirin again.
Thank you, brother.
Thank y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.